The Idaho College Murders Trial, Bryan Kohberger, has become one of the most disturbing and talked about true crime stories in recent American history. On November 13, 2022, the small, quiet college town of Moscow, Idaho, was shaken by the brutal slayings of 4 University of Idaho students: Kaylee Goncalves, Madison Mogan, Xana Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin. What followed was a nationwide manhunt, a flurry of forensic breakthroughs, and the shocking arrest of Bryan Kohberger, a 28-year-old criminology PhD student. His trial, still ongoing in 2025, continues to captivate millions and raise pressing questions about psychology, criminal profiling, law enforcement techniques, and digital surveillance in modern criminal investigations. Man detective: who is Bryan Kohberger? Books. Academic background: Bryan Kohberger was a PhD student at Washington State University in Pullman, just a few miles from the University of Idaho. His focus: criminal justice and criminology, a disturbing detail that has led many to wonder if his studies fueled his alleged actions. Before that, he earned a master's degree from DeSales University in Pennsylvania, where he reportedly conducted surveys asking criminals how they selected their victims. Bust in silhouette: personality and behavior. Former classmates and acquaintances described Kohberger as intense, socially awkward, and fascinated by serial killers. Many now question whether his academic curiosity may have masked something more sinister. DNA: the crime scene. What happened on November 13, 2022? On that night, the 4 victims were stabbed to death in their off-campus rental home on King Road in Moscow, Idaho. 2 other roommates survived, one of whom reported seeing a masked man in black leaving the house, but didn't call police until hours later, triggering public speculation. Key forensic details include multiple stab wounds on all victims, no signs of sexual assault, a K-bar knife sheath left behind on the bed next to one of the victims, no signs of forced entry, magnifying glass tilted left. The breakthrough: how Bryan Kohberger was identified. DNA evidence. One of the major breakthroughs in the Idaho College murders investigation came when DNA from the knife sheath was matched to Kohberger using familial DNA and genealogy databases. This controversial technique, once used to catch the Golden State Killer, is now central to modern forensics. Mobile phone digital footprint. Investigators tracked Kohberger's cell phone data, revealing he had been near the victim's house multiple times before the murders, a chilling sign of possible stalking. Automobile surveillance footage. A white Hyundai Elantra registered to Kohberger was caught on multiple security cameras near the crime scene around the time of the murders. Man judge: the arrest. December 30, 2022. Kohberger was arrested at his parents' home in Pennsylvania by a SWAT team just before New Year's 2023. The arrest affidavit revealed chilling details, including he applied for an internship with the local police. His phone was turned off during the time of the murders. He wore latex gloves and disposed of trash in neighbors' bins while under surveillance. Adult balance scale: the trial, where it stands in 2025. As of mid-2025, Bryan Kohberger's trial has been delayed multiple times due to legal motions, DNA evidence analysis, and debate over the death penalty. Key trial elements. Defense team challenges DNA collection method and genetic genealogy. Prosecution is building a case around DNA, surveillance footage, and cell phone tracking. The death penalty is on the table, though Idaho's laws and new firing squad option are sparking national debate. Laptop computer internet obsession. Why the Kohberger case went viral. This case became one of TikTok and YouTube's biggest true crime topics, with amateur sleuths dissecting every court motion and surveillance frame. SEO keywords driving the obsession. Idaho College murders. Bryan Kohberger trial. King Road murders, Idaho. Criminology student serial killer. Kohberger arrest affidavit. True Crime News 2025. Idaho murder victims. Kohberger DNA knife sheath. Death penalty: Idaho. Bryan Kohberger. Brain psychological profile. Is Bryan Kohberger a serial killer in the making? Experts speculate that Kohberger may have been driven by a narcissistic desire to outsmart law enforcement. His background in criminology, combined with his alleged methodical approach, has led many to label him as a serial killer who wanted to study his own crime. Forensic psychologists are analyzing his lack of criminal record, academic fascination with violent crime, pre-murder surveillance and stalking behavior, lack of apparent motive, no known connection to victims, balance scale and legal challenges, the fight over DNA and tech evidence. The defense team is aggressively challenging the use of genetic genealogy, arguing it violates Fourth Amendment rights. The admissibility of cell phone tower tracking. The credibility of the surviving roommate's testimony, due to a delay in calling 911. This case is setting new legal precedents for how modern technology and public databases are used in criminal trials. Calendar timeline, from murders to trial. Date event. November 13, 2022 murders take place. December 30, 2022 Bryan Kohberger arrested. January 2023 extradited to Idaho. May 2023 pleads not guilty. Late 2023 to 2025 motions, delays, DNA debates. 2025 trial continues. Speech balloon victims remembered. Who were the University of Idaho students? Kaylee Goncalves, 21 outgoing senior, known for her laughter. Madison Mogan, 21 Kaylee's best friend since childhood. Xana Kernadle, 20 energetic, involved in campus life. Ethan Chapin, 20 Xana's boyfriend, one of triplet siblings. The community continues to honor them with memorials, scholarships, and public vigils. Television media coverage and public reactions. Networks like CNN, Court TV, News Nation, and true crime YouTubers have provided near-daily coverage. The intense media spotlight led to jury pool concerns, leaks of evidence online, misinformation and amateur sleuth interference. Kohberger's defense requested the trial be moved out of Latah County, citing unfair media bias, but the motion was denied. Crystal ball: what happens next? Possible outcomes in the Kohberger trial. White heavy checkmark if found guilty. Could face the death penalty via firing squad under Idaho's new law. Life in prison without parole. Appeals expected due to DNA and surveillance use. Crossmark if found not guilty. National outrage and questions about forensic reliability. Possible civil suits from victims' families. Massive shift in how digital forensics is used in future cases. Balance scaled final thoughts. Why the Bryan Kohberger trial matters. The Idaho College Murders Trial, Bryan Kohberger, isn't just a gruesome true crime case. It's a landmark moment in American criminal justice. From the use of genetic genealogy to the debate over death penalty ethics, this case touches on the darkest corners of crime, psychology, and surveillance. As the trial unfolds in 2025, the public is left asking, can we ever truly understand the mind of a killer? How do we balance justice with technology? And most haunting of all, could this happen again?